At a conference in Chicago, February of 2026, I was speaking at the back of the room. And after my talk, a coach walked up to me, 8 years in, credentialed, strong point of view. And she asked me a question I've been hearing a lot lately. Steve, what am I doing wrong? Here's the thing. She wasn't doing anything wrong. She was doing everything right in the wrong order. And in 2026, the order matters more than it ever has. Today, I'm going to show you why most new coaching businesses are stalling out right now. The two pressures squeezing this industry from both sides, and the one move that's actually getting clients booked in 2026. Let me give you the full picture. Last October, the Conference Board, the 100-year-old research institution, published a study called A Coach for Every Worker. They tested AI coaches against human coaches. The headline finding? AI could provide 90% of day-to-day coaching functions. 90%. And here's the part no one expected. 96% of the participants said the AI responses felt tailored to them. 91% said they'd use it again. 3 months later, in January 27th of this year, Coach Hub, the largest digital coaching marketplace in the world, laid off 150 employees, roughly 20% of their workforce, gone in a day. The reason cited in the press? AI is commoditizing coaching. Then came the NUMI industry report. They surveyed over 1,000 coaches across 47 countries this year. Their finding wasn't that the industry was too competitive. Their finding was that the industry had become indistinguishable. But here's the part most people are missing. This isn't actually an AI problem. It's a visibility problem. AI didn't kill coaching. It just turned on the lights. And now the buyers can see something that was always true, but used to be hidden. Most coaches, including some really good ones, sound a lot like each other. The lights came on and the buyers can see now. So what does that mean for you? If you're starting a coaching business right now, you're walking into a market with two pressures that didn't exist 3 years ago. From below, AI is absorbing the work, the frameworks, the action plans, the next step coaching questions, all 90% of it. Cheaper, faster, 24/7. From above, the buyers can't tell coaches apart anymore. There are 122,000 certified coaches in the world today. That number has doubled since 2019. 85% of them are credentialed, which means the credential isn't the differentiator, it's the price of admission. What's happening here has a name. I call it the 90% squeeze. The processing work compresses from below. The discovery layer collapses from above. And every new coach who follows the conventional playbook, get certified, build a website, start posting on LinkedIn, walks straight into the middle of it. I want to tell you about a coach I'll call Jamie. Leadership coach, 11 years in, Midwest practice, worked mostly with Fortune 500 directors. By every internal measure, she was excellent. By every external measure, the market couldn't tell. And that brings me to this framework. I call it the 10% moat. The Conference Board study said AI could do 90% of coaching. Most people read this as a threat. I read it as a map because the other 10%, the part that AI can't touch, it's the only part you can actually compete on. The 10% moat has 3 pieces. The first piece is your point of view, not your methodology, not your certification, your actual perspective on the work. The thing only you would say in the way only you would say it. AI doesn't have a point of view. It has a probability distribution. Those aren't the same thing. The second piece is your framework, not a generic 5-step process you borrowed from someone else's program, your specific way of solving the specific problem you solve. Named, structured, repeatable. The kind of thinking a client can only get from inside your head until you put it on the outside. The third piece is the asset. And this is where Jamie was stuck. Her point of view existed, her framework existed, but the asset, the visible, tangible artifact that makes the first 2 pieces findable before a buyer ever calls, think of it like a moat around your castle. You can build a castle, you can put an army inside, but if there's no moat, nothing visible from the outside, anyone walking past sees just another building. The moat is what tells the world the castle is worth defending. So when a buyer goes searching for a coach in 2026, and they're searching through AI now, not just Google, what is it that actually makes them stop on you? Here's the simplest way to think about all of this. The market used to pay coaches for what they know. Now it pays coaches for being the one a buyer can find before the buyer even knows they're looking. That's the whole shift. Everything else flows from there. So what happened to Jamie? Last spring, a prospect sat down on a discovery call and asked her a question she'd never been asked before. Tell me, what makes you different from the AI tool my company just rolled out for managers? And she didn't have a good answer. She had 11 years of good answers, but not one she could fit into the 90 seconds before the prospect started checking his phone. The call didn't close, neither did the next 2. So she came to us. We didn't tell her to post more. We didn't tell her to get another certification. We helped her extract what was already in her head into a book. Her point of view, her framework, her actual methodology structured, and now on the outside. 6 months later, 2 things had changed. Her discovery calls stopped opening with what makes you different from AI. They started opening with I read the book and her average engagement size moved from $8,000 to $24,000. Same Jamie, same methodology, same 11 years, the asset did the work. So what actually works in 2026? Here's what I've seen over and over with the coaches who are getting clients right now. The 10% AI can't do has to be visible to a buyer before they ever pick up the phone. That's the whole game. Your judgment, your point of view, your specific framework. None of that matters if a buyer can't find it before the discovery call. The moat has to exist on the outside of the castle, not just inside it. And here's the part most new coaches get backwards. They think the order is get certified, market for a few years, build an audience, and maybe write a book someday, if they become well known. Wrong order, not wrong, backwards. The book isn't the reward for becoming a successful coach. It's the mechanism by which the rest of the system works. The certifications get traction. The marketing connects. The discovery calls open warm. The asset goes first. So the question you're probably sitting with right now is, okay, but how does someone actually build that asset without disappearing for 2 years to write a book? Because here's what I've learned. The coaches who win in this market aren't necessarily better at the work than everyone else. They just have something doing the selling for them before the conversation starts. That's exactly what I walk through in the next video. It covers the 90-day extraction process we use to take what you already know, your point of view, your framework, your methodology, and turn it into a book that books clients without ever staring at a blank page. Watch it next. That's the one.